Hey there, and welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're strapping on our metaphorical scuba gear, and plunging into the depths of prompt engineering. You know,
Okay.
those large language models that power everything from like chatbots to AI
Yeah.
assistants. Prompt engineering is how we go from basic interactions to getting them to do exactly what we want.
Right.
And joining me to explore this fascinating world is our AI expert.
Hi.
We've got a stack of your notes on this, plus a really insightful PDF from the folks at OpenAI, kind of the rock stars of this whole field.
Yeah, they're doing some really cool stuff.
So no pressure or anything, AI expert, but our listeners counted on you for some serious aha moments today. What's got you really excited about this deep dive?
Well, what I find fascinating is how we often think of AI as this super complex technology, which, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
But at its core, effective AI hinges on something surprisingly human, clear communication.
Oh, interesting. It's like when you try explaining something to someone who takes every word literally,
Right.
and suddenly you're stuck in this comedy of miscommunication.
Exactly. With AI, if your instructions aren't precise, the results can go sideways so fast.
Wow.
Prompt engineering is about closing that communication gap between human intention and you know, AI execution.
So it's less about whispering secrets to a magic machine and more about like drafting a really detailed blueprint then.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay.
Think of a well-crafted prompt
Yeah.
as a set of crystal clear instructions
Okay.
guiding the AI towards the desired outcome.
You okay?
It's the difference between receiving a vague generic response
Right.
and unlocking a precise, insightful answer.
Got it. It's starting to sound less like, magic and more like, well, engineering,
Yeah,
which I guess is the point, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Are there any beginner's luck strategies that that listeners can use to get started?
Absolutely. The most fundamental strategy, as we've touched on, is writing clear, detailed instructions.
Okay.
Don't just tell the AI, summarize this. Specify how you want it summarized.
Okay.
Bullet points.
Right.
One paragraph.
Uh-huh.
A haiku.
Wow.
You'd be surprised how specific you can get and how much that specificity improves the results.
It's a level of control you just don't get with a regular search engine.
Mm,
This is about directing the AI's process, not
Right.
just throwing keywords at it.
Okay.
I have to admit, though, the idea of an AI writing a haiku on command is kind of blowing my mind.
And it gets even more interesting.
Bro.
You can actually ask the AI to adopt a persona,
Yeah.
need a super formal email,
Yeah.
tell it to pretend you're a helpful but very polite butler.
Seriously, the AI will actually change its writing style based on that.
You'd be surprised. It can be incredibly effective for tailoring the tone and style of the output,
Huh.
not to mention entertaining.
So no more write me a poem and just hoping for the best.
Exactly. Be clear about the style, the theme, the length, even the tone you're going for.
Wow, okay. But what about those situations where we need the AI to tackle something really complex?
Yeah,
Say a task that involves multiple steps, like summarizing a document,
right.
translating it, and then turning it into a presentation. How do we keep everything on track?
That's where breaking down the task becomes super crucial.
Okay.
Big, complicated requests can overwhelm AI,
Right.
just like they can overwhelm us.
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of throwing a massive task at the AI all at once, break it down into smaller, more manageable steps.
Okay.
It's like giving someone step-by-step directions instead of just the destination address.
Gotcha. So instead of saying plan a trip to Italy,
Yeah.
we'd say something like, first, find me the best flight deals for Rome.
Yeah.
Then find hotels near the Colosseum, and so on.
Precisely. This approach drastically increases accuracy on those complex requests. Think of it like, building a multi-stage rocket. Each stage has a specific job to do, propelling the rocket closer to its final destination.
Yeah, it's like we're giving the AI a clear roadmap, right? Instead of just a vague destination.
Right.
But I'm also hearing that even with the best directions, we need to give AI the space to, well, think.
Yeah.
Just like how I need a minute or 10 to work through a tough problem.
Yeah, for sure.
We've talked about AI being, surprisingly literal.
Right.
But the flip side is that given the right tools and resources, AI can be amazingly capable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like, remember those logic puzzles we used to love?
Yeah.
AI can solve those, but only if we provide the clues in a way it understands.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about speaking its language.
So we're not just writing instructions, but creating a whole puzzle environment for the AI to work in.
That's a great way to put it.
What does that actually look like in practice?
Okay, so let's say you need the AI to pull specific facts from like a really lengthy document,
Right.
not just general knowledge, right? Right.
We can use something called embeddings.
Embeddings.
Yeah, which are like AI-powered search queries within that document.
So instead of hoping the AI just randomly knows the answer, we can like point it directly to where the information lives.
Exactly. And it gets like even more powerful.
Okay, how so?
Imagine you need some really intense calculations done.
Okay.
Instead of just asking the AI, you could tell it to get this, write and run code.
Wait, so we can basically have the AI build its own tools to solve problems.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's next level stuff. But, let's be honest, even with the best prompts, sometimes things might not go perfectly on the first try.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
And this is where prompt engineering becomes a bit of an art as well as, a science.
Right.
OpenAI actually recommends building evils.
Evils.
Yeah. Or like tests to see if your prompts are actually improving the AI's performance.
It's like running experiments in a lab, but instead of beakers and Bunsen burners.
We've got these carefully worded prompts.
Exactly. For instance, if you're prompting for like summaries, your evil might measure how accurately the AI captures the key points compared to a human written summary.
Okay.
It's about constantly refining and iterating to get, the best possible output.
This isn't really incredible, but I feel like we've only explored like one dimension of this,
Yeah.
We've covered like the how of crafting awesome prompts.
Right.
But what about the why on a larger scale?
Right, yeah.
What makes prompt engineering relevant to someone who isn't, say, an AI researcher or a tech whiz?
It's a great question. This isn't just about making AI do like cool tricks.
Yeah.
It's about fundamentally transforming how we, interact with information.
Okay.
And by extension, how we learn, work, and even like create.
Right.
Prompt engineering has the potential to make AI accessible to like everyone.
That's a bold statement. Are
Okay.
we talking about a world where everyone has like an AI assistant?
Yeah.
Or is this something like deeper?
It's more about shifting our mindset, I think.
Okay.
Right now we spend like countless hours searching for the right information,
Right.
trying to make sense of it,
Right.
and then figuring out how to use it.
Uh-huh.
Prompt engineering, when done well, turns AI into a shortcut for all three.
So instead of me like sifting through endless, Google search results or whatever,
Right.
AI becomes my research assistant, just bringing me the good stuff.
Think of it more as a thought partner even.
Okay.
Imagine you're writing a speech, for example.
Okay.
Instead of staring at a blank page, you can ask your AI to, brainstorm ideas with you, maybe create an outline, even draft sections based on your notes.
Hold on now. I know you're the voice of reason here, but we both know AI isn't exactly known for its like stellar writing skills.
Right.
It's always a bit, off.
That's precisely why prompt engineering is so, groundbreaking.
Okay.
It's not about replacing human creativity or expertise.
Yeah.
It's about amplifying it. By learning to give AI the right instructions, we unlock its potential as a collaborator,
Right.
a sounding board, a tool to push our own thinking further.
So it's less about AI like taking over writing and more about AI helping us become like better writers ourselves.
Exactly.
That's a fascinating way to look at it.
And it's not just writing.
Yeah.
This applies to learning, to research, to problem solving,
Right.
any field where, information is key.
Okay. Yeah.
Imagine doctors using AI to instantly analyze medical studies
Okay.
for the most relevant information.
Right.
Or students receiving personalized tutoring tailored to their, exact learning styles.
You're painting quite a picture here. It sounds like something straight out of like a sci-fi novel.
Yeah, a little bit.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
Your OpenAI document had some like really specific examples of how these strategies are playing out right now.
Right.
What stood out to you?
One that I thought was really interesting was the concept of intent classification
Okay.
for customer service.
For customer service, okay.
Imagine a chatbot that can actually analyze a customer's question and immediately direct them to the most relevant information or department.
So no more of that frustrating, chatbot loop of, I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Can you rephrase?
Yeah, hopefully a lot less of that. By breaking down that complex task, really understanding a customer's needs into smaller, manageable steps.
Right.
We can make AI systems, significantly more helpful and efficient.
It's like programming a decision tree into the AI.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
If X, then do Y. If Z, then do this other thing. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. That principle, that breaking down complexity, applies across the board.
Okay.
Take summarizing lengthy documents, for example. Your OpenAI source talks about how instead of overwhelming the AI with like an entire book,
Yeah.
you can prompt it to summarize like section by section,
Right.
then like synthesize those summaries into larger ones and so on.
It's like those, those Russian nesting dolls.
Right.
But for information.
Exactly.
Each layer gets you closer to the core idea.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It emphasizes how prompt engineering is about working with AI's strengths and limitations to unlock the best possible outcome, which is something we'll continue exploring after this quick break. And we're back. This whole conversation about prompt engineering has really, it's really shifted my perspective. It's like we've gotten this sneak peek at the user manual for the future of AI.
It is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And as you said, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what's possible.
Totally.
Remember that example from the OpenAI document?
Yeah.
The one about teaching AI to solve math problems, like step by step.
Right.
It turns out that by prompting the AI to, get this, show its work,
Okay.
we can actually boost its accuracy significantly.
It's like my math teacher always used to say,
Yeah.
I don't care about the answer. Show me how you got there.
It's about understanding the AI's process, not just, blindly trusting the output.
Precisely. And what's so fascinating is that this approach, like making the AI's thinking transparent,
Right.
that has applications way beyond, just math.
Okay.
It can help us identify and mitigate potential bias in AI systems,
Okay.
help us really grasp how AI reaches its conclusions,
Right.
and even teach us entirely new problem-solving approaches.
So it's almost as if AI is evolving from a tool into a teacher itself.
Yeah.
That opens up some really wild possibilities.
It does, and it highlights a really crucial point from the OpenAI source.
Yeah.
This field is constantly evolving.
Good.
What we consider advanced prompt engineering today might be basic tomorrow,
Right.
The key is to, stay curious, keep experimenting, and, never stop pushing the boundaries of what AI can achieve.
So it's less about reaching a finish line and more about embracing the journey of discovery with AI as our co-explorer.
Exactly. It's a partnership.
Is there anything else from our deep dive today
Let me think.
that you think that you think our listeners should really take away from all this?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway here is don't be afraid to experiment,
Okay.
The beauty of prompt engineering is that it's accessible to anyone with curiosity and a willingness to learn, really.
Right.
You don't need to be a coding whiz or a data scientist to start crafting, really effective prompts. Just remember the principles we've covered.
Yeah.
Clarity, specificity, breaking down those complex tasks.
Right.
And don't be afraid to get creative and playful with your prompts.
That's a great point to end on. It's not about, rigid formulas,
Right.
but about exploring the art of communicating with these incredibly powerful AI systems.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of prompt engineering, I have a challenge for all of you listeners out there.
Okay.
Think about the tasks you do every day.
Yeah.
The problems you're trying to solve, the information you're constantly seeking. Could any of those be made easier, more efficient, or even just more insightful with the help of a well-crafted prompt? That's something to ponder, as we sign off.
It really is.
Until next time, happy prompting.